relax, be cool. Cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Ryan Coogler is certainly a name making the rounds for a bit, hasn't he? He gained a real critical acclaim alongside his second wife, Michael B. Jordan, in Fruitvale Station. Never saw it. I assume it's good, but then he hit mainstream popularity with the critically and commercially successful Creed, the follow-up to the Rocky Balboa series with Jordan carrying the franchise forward. But his popularity would be set in stone with the smashing success of nothing else. Nope, after Creed, he faded into obscurity and never directed another movie again. He's probably flipping burgers at a Burger King somewhere like a loser, treated like the loser he is.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, Black Panther made the buku bucks. And he was beloved by literally everyone on the planet, except the filthy white folk who hate movies. I think it's good, not amazing, not even in my top 10 Marvel films, but I do think it's pretty good. But bro, I really hated Wakanda Forever. Yeah, I know, everyone's a critic, but you wanna know something? You're the one with the Oscar nom, not me. I know I don't got one. I'm just a waiter at some Italian restaurant. Who am I, right? All I do is watch movies and offer my opinion. To all of 20 people if I'm lucky. I am so glad I do this just for fun. In any case, we have Coogler's latest outing with Black Vampires. It looks good. Michael looks good. That's why he's Coogler's side piece. Heyo! But more importantly, I'm just excited to see an action-y horror film. You don't see those very often. Too many cowards that won't even try. But I gotta say, I don't know if you're gonna beat Underworld, man. I don't think you're gonna dethrone Kate Beckinsale as action vampire queen. But hey, a squire is always needed. Damn, I'm a bitch today! Oh well, in any case, this is my honest opinion of Sinners. Set in 1932, twin brothers Smoke and Stack, played by Michael B. Jordan, return to their home in the Mississippi Delta after spending time in Chicago as gangsters and serving in World War I to open a juke joint with money they stole from their gangster employers. Hiring all the friends they can find, they open their place with resounding success. But things take a turn for the worse when a trio of vampires show up and start turning the patrons into vampires while trying to get to the ones unturned that are protected inside.
Don't cry. He's all better now.
Know what? This wasn't fucking bad. Not bad at all. As a fan of the vampire genre who absolutely does not mind, a shakeup every now and again, this definitely, let's say it poked at the itch. It didn't scratch it. I do have my issues with it. But for the most part, no, this was pretty solid. Now, I do want to give a quick disclaimer here. I am going to be discussing light spoilers. Nothing that hasn't been revealed in the trailers, and I won't give away anything that might, give away important information later on in the movie. But just so you know, light spoilers will be discussed. My first issue that I had with it is how long the opening was. I mean, this is a 2-hour, 15-ish minute flick, so I guess it left itself some room for that. I would normally not mind this so much since it's setting up a lot of backstory. Why the brothers left, why they came back, who they were to the people of this town, from the business associates to the lovers to family. All this is fine in its own right. But here's why it didn't sit right with me. It was getting to the point where I was just waiting for the vampire action to finally get showcased. And it takes its sweet ass time to do that. And even later on, once certain characters get axed off, the emotional payoffs aren't as impactful as the movie seems to think that they should be. So ultimately, it feels like I got a whole lot of character establishment and not a single care for those characters. This doesn't mean there isn't fun banter or great chemistry between the actors. There absolutely is. You have the twins, whom you can tell apart from their player 1 and 2 colors, which made me snicker a bit, but they do have their own distinct personalities. Stack is the more suave, silver-tongued charmer of the brothers, seemingly preferring to handle things diplomatically rather than a straight-up fight, while Smoke is no nonsense. He's gruff, serious, and ain't afraid to pick a fight if someone's asking for one. But he also seems to be the one who found true romance once, whereas Stack tries to avoid entanglement with his flame Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld, despite clearly having feelings for her. Smoke and his ex-girlfriend Annie clearly have their issues, mainly surrounding a dead daughter. Though I have to say that my favorite character is Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo. Dude just wants to play his harmonica and drink some Irish beer. He has some of the best lines and moments in the entire movie for me. About the only character I felt was squandered was the twins' little cousin Sammy, played by Miles Catton. By no means a poor talent, but there's a confusing amount of importance on him when very little of the movie actually treats him that way. He's not the main character. He doesn't have any big character moments other than the realization that he has talent as a blues player. Even the villains don't make incessant attempts at getting at him. The opening of the movie places importance on people being able to play music so well that it summons spirits and dark forces alike. But this feels like an afterthought, only occasionally cropping up to remind the audience, oh yeah, that was a thing that was mentioned. And then there's the villains themselves. There's 3 that stand out, but one of them is a spoiler, so I'm just gonna talk about the 2. The main villain is Remick, played by Jack O'Connell, who is Irish and hunted by Native American hunters as they know what he is. But he hides with a pair of Klansmen who protect him, and then he turns them into vampires. He takes them to the twins' juke joint under the guise of wanting to play their bluegrass to the audience, but are turned away. It's not long after that their true nature is revealed though. First off, I love these are more traditional vampires. They're scary, savage, and ruthless. The glowing red eyes are a personal favorite touch to me. What's funny is that they aren't racist. Like all vampires, they conduct themselves like they're the penultimate life form and they're just spreading their gifts. Hell, it feels like a Christianity allegory than anything. But then once Stack gets attacked by vampires and everyone thinks he's dead, the joint is closed and everyone is sent home, where Remick and his minions go to town on the townsfolk and they all turn. Probably my favorite scene is when the townsfolk start dancing with Remick as a sort of mockery to the survivors still inside. It's this perfect blend of fun and creepy. Finally, there's Stack. I really wish this was a positive, but it highlights a cliched problem that I have with the vampire genre as a whole. People who are just so torn about killing their turned loved ones. I understand that this takes place in the 30s, so it's not exactly common sense on how to react during this situation. And maybe this is just a personal thing. I wish that it was Stack who was the main villain. Maybe that would have caused the emotions to hit, as he's the one who would turn the townspeople. Those that trusted him, respected him, and even loved him would ultimately be killed by him, and really build a rivalry between him and Smoke as he tries to protect the survivors, which just isn't the case in the final product. No, it's Remick that's the main villain, and I feel like it's wasted potential. But perhaps it's unfair to judge a film based on what I wish it was rather than what it actually is. Still, once the action gets going, it has a very similar feel to From Dusk Till Dawn. You got that one person telling everyone what they're dealing with, how to deal with them, and all that other good stuff. Despite some dumbass characters that get a lot of people killed, who die in ridiculous ways themselves, the action is juicy, high octane, if not a bit frantic, but overall satisfying. The ending is an odd mix of both prolonged and rushed, which I can't get into, but it's otherwise solid stuff. Oh, and stick around for the credits. I think there's like a mid-credits scene that I missed out on. I left my credit card at the bar, and I wanted to get to the bar before it closed. It was closed by the time I got there. So don't make the same mistake I did. I thought this was pretty good. Decent character work, a bit of a slow pace at times, but the action's great. There's a lot to like about it. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the abundance of praise being, shoved its way, but I agree that it is worth checking out at the cinemas. My honest rating for Sinners, a 4 out of 5.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
Thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that like or dislike button. All engagement is welcomed. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And as always, have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there, and hope to see you soon.
You don't take time to sleep, eat, or drink, but just remember that it's later than you think. So be cool, just relax. So be cool, face facts. 'Cause time